So not going quite as well as I'd hoped as far as getting some of the other characters besides Lynn and Oswin in this team experience, but oh well. What else? Hey, we can go ahead and start on the Sage. Gonna do that, and then Hand Axe. And then I can take you out with Florina or Canis. And I'll probably just use... Yeah, I'll use Florina. So we got this chapter pretty well under control now. So I kill off that guy. Now I believe I just have this one druid over in the bottom left, and then the sniper, and then the units up in Kashuna's room. So we're coming pretty close toward the end. I mean, we're getting there. So since we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about... Oh crap, you critical. Okay, well at least you didn't die. Thank God, Hawkeye. That would have really... Of all the people to die, I did not think you would be the one. And I still can't. Yeah, stupid druid. Don't really like you very much. That doesn't look appealing at all. That doesn't look appealing either. But that's probably the best thing I've got. Yeah, that pretty much is. Let's just hope he doesn't critical. Go ahead and hit me. Just don't... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so after that little debacle, get back to what I was trying to talk about, which was that I got Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story a few days ago, and I played it. I think it's about 7 hours of the game, because I got it... Oh, I'm recording this on Monday. I think I got it on Wednesday or Thursday. So, I've had some time to get into the game. Right now, I am just getting to Toad Town for the first time from the Toad Town caves. So I'm actually outside of Bowser's body, just for a little while, just for kind of the first time. And I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the game overall. I think they've made some good improvements, and really the one thing I like is they kind of changed up the battle system just a little bit. Overall, the battle system, Superstar Saga and Partners in Time, really good, really good. I really like the whole, how they continued the Flower Point switches in Super Mario RPG, and now they've gone to Bros Points, and they brought those back with special attack points. Now, because they didn't have them in Partners in Time, you just had items that you collected. So, like, you collect 3 green shells, but now you actually use special points, and a green shell costs like 3, and then Fire Flower costs like 4, so something like that. So I do like that. I also like how they kind of went back to Super Mario RPG in the sense that they made it where there's not just 2 timings. Like, if you watched my Superstar Saga walkthrough, you've seen that pretty much you have 2 options on, like a normal attack. Let's say I'm just going to go up and jump on an enemy. I'm just going to go up and jump on a Goomba. If I time pressing the A button right, I do X amount of damage. If I don't, I do like half as much damage. There's no in between. But now for this game, and they, again, did this in Super Mario RPG, and you actually have a lot more range as far as timing, where you can get, in this game, you can get okay, good, great, and excellent, and then just pretty much a miss, which still does some damage, but it does a pretty pathetic amount, so it's not like you're going to do a lot of damage by getting a miss, so. But I do like how they have more of a spectrum, and it relies more on timing than just an easy and pretty much brainless amount of timing. So I do like that. I've kind of liked how they've done the whole thing inside Bowser's body. How you've had the different areas that you've actually gone to. Although while you were in there, I thought they didn't rely enough, or not they didn't rely, but that they didn't give Mario and Luigi enough time. Like, you spent, I felt, too much time using Bowser during that phase. Now, I've actually gotten out of that, out of Bowser's body now, so, and it seems like they'll probably go back to pretty much more Mario and Luigi for however long the next part of the game is. Whether you go back in Bowser's body or not, I don't know. I would think so because of the whole pipe thing. But again, I'm not positive. Actually, just getting back to this game, I'm just using Lyn and what is it? Legault, I'm sorry. I'm just using Lyn and Legault to get both chests. I'm gonna use Legault because I need to unlock the door down there, and I'll use Lyn, go grab chest key from Merlinus, and go get the chest right by the broom. So this is gonna take a while, so it's a good time to go back to Bowser's Inside Story. But anyway, I do kind of like how they set it up. I have not been particularly impressed with the bosses so far. I've done a few, obviously, so you usually have that one kind of give-in boss at the beginning that's not really a boss. And once again, it is Bowser. I'm sorry if I spoiled that. Yes, you fight Bowser like 5 minutes in. It's your first battle. They explain how to battle and all that. Congratulations. I mean, that is not going to ruin the game for you, so I didn't feel too bad sharing that. But I mean, obviously you were going to have that, and you kind of knew you were going to have that kind of intro, almost kind of a boss battle, but not really. It's pretty hard to lose. I don't even know if you can. I obviously haven't tried that yet, so. But pretty much the other bosses I haven't been particularly impressed with. They've seemed just too easy. I mean, because once you get enough of Bowser's special attacks, it's not hard to just use up his special points and destroy the enemy. And it actually gets to one other thing. One kind of little feature, and it wouldn't seem like as big of a deal if you haven't played the games before, but if you've played it, and like me, you've played Superstar Saga and Partners in Time, now you're playing Bowser's Inside Story, it is pretty annoying to me. And that's that you don't, after fighting a real boss, like when I did the Midvis battle in the theater, hopefully that doesn't spoil too much, but I did a Midvis battle in the theater, and so I ended up beating Midvis, right? And if you were playing Superstar Saga, you had this battle, what would happen is, right after the fight, you would, without having to use any items, you would automatically get your HP, and like if you're Superstar Saga, you get your bros points restored. So I'd assume, going into the game, that at least you get your HP restored, right? And then now that we have special points, you get your special points restored, but they don't do that, which I find kind of just, I don't understand why they had to get rid of it. I didn't see any problem with it. It's not like it made it so easy. It's not like they did it after every single battle. That would be excessive. I would have a problem with it if they did that, but just doing it after a boss fight so that you're not wasting a bunch of syrups, I thought, again, it's not that big of a deal, because you can buy items, because coins are so abundant. That is another problem with the game. It seems like they give away so many coins. Again, I'm through like about 7 hours of gameplay. I'm almost positive I'm not halfway through the game. I already have, it's like 3,500 coins, I think. And I've spent probably about 1,500 more, so that comes out to 5,000 coins. And that seems a little excessive, and it's not like items are that much more expensive. Yeah, because of the whole not restoring your HP and FP after... Why do I keep saying FP? HP and SP after bosses. You do have to use a couple mushrooms maybe, and a few syrups to get those back up to full. But still, it's not that big of a deal, especially with the new system of badges, which is pretty much, because badges are completely different. And what they do with the badges is Mario and Luigi each get a badge, and they all have specific qualities, kind of like Superstar Saga, where each badge is unique. However, instead of like just giving you attribute bonuses, which they reserve for other equipment, because now you can equip, I've seen socks, obviously you have your specific like work pants or stuff like that, pretty much your jeans for Mario and Luigi, but you can also equip socks, gloves, you can equip more equipment. So what they did for badge, instead of being that kind of secondary equipment booster, and we get a silver blade there, very nice weapon, was pretty much you get this badge meter, and by performing a successful attack in battle, your badge meter goes up, and when you actually fill it, you can use up your badge meter, and it'll give you HP boost. I believe most of them, or at least the one I have right now, which is the generic one, because I haven't gotten any other badges yet. It restores, I think, 20% of your HP when you use it, and then you have to build it up again. It does take a little while. Not like it takes forever, like a whole area to build it up, but it takes a few battles, which I think is maybe a little bit overly fair, maybe a little bit too often you fill it up, but still not terrible. Especially if you're not going around killing every enemy in every room. It can take a little longer to get that filled up. But so yeah, they've completely redone the badge system, which isn't a problem because you get other equipment. It's not like you only have your jeans. And the same thing works for Bowser. With equipment, you get your shell, which is pretty much the equivalent of your jeans. You can also get I think there's like a power ring that you can get, power belt, so different belts, different, I think they're rings, I'm not positive though. And Mario and Luigi might have rings, I might not have found them yet. Because again, I'm still decently early on in the game. But, so they have changed some things, but the most important things have been kept. And here, you open the door. This is why, since I didn't really have any good physical long-range weapons, I couldn't really go after those four guys. Sorry, I'm kind of going right back into this, but now that I've gotten all the chests. But once you unlock the door, 4 units will show up. I believe it's if you're... let me think. Yeah, this is the one where if your melee units are stronger than your magic units, then you get a certain... Then you get 4 physical units, and I believe it's the other way around. Then 4 magic units appear on the other side, so... Not that big of a deal, none of them are classed up, so... Compared to what we've seen so far, not a big deal. Just kind of let them come out and come after you, and you can pick them off. They do all have silver weapons, which I believe you get all of them, so... Again, more items to be. And I used a lot of time talking about Mario games, so I apologize if I wasn't talking very much about this kind of ending half of the chapter, but wasn't a whole lot to it. I defeated a couple enemies, and I walked around with Lynn and the Galds to get the last couple chests, so there wasn't a whole lot to explain. But yeah, kind of to wrap up the Bowser's Inside Story rant. Good game so far, I've enjoyed it. While I don't think it's really as good as Superstar Saga, because that is one of my favorite games, probably my favorite game that I've played, it still is certainly a really good game. I've liked all 3 of them. And this one seems kind of comparable to Partners in Time, although I do like that this isn't kind of a complete rehashing of the Superstar Saga storyline. Kind of how Partners in Time was, where if you just collected the Cobalt Star for the entire game. Kind of like where in Superstar Saga you collected the Bean Star, but in Superstar Saga that's not even half the game you spent getting that Bean Star. So, and for the Cobalt Star was the whole game, so that's why I would probably put this above Partners in Time, because it is a little bit more to the storyline than just one quest. There is actually, whether you call it a plot twist or not, I don't know, but it's not just one goal, and then once you get it, the game ends. There's a little bit more to the game. I like that about this. So, yeah, we're just about done here. Just gotta get that silver bow now. Yeah, I have a ton of silver weapons. I don't know how many I'm gonna actually need to buy. I may be able to just spend it on, like, all this gold I have on killer weapons and, like, the opposite weapons, like the Reaver weapons, I should say. Sword Reaver, Lance Reaver, like that. So, just wanna get this kill, just make sure I can kill him, yeah. And I can get the kill with Guy. And we got a silver bow. We're gonna get another one of these in a couple chapters, too, so I wouldn't even be afraid to start using it right now if you have an archer that has an A bow ranking. So, because we're going to get one of them pretty soon. But anyway, that's done with this chapter. So, definitely a chapter I like. Chapter 22 Sidequest. Really, kind of an interesting way they went about it with kind of this boss rush mode. And we'll see this one more time in the game, I consider it. Well, I guess not boss rush mode, really, but where you're fighting not as many units, but a lot of strong, a good, decent amount of strong units, instead of just a ton of weak units. Which is more kind of Sacred Stones, where in the final chapter, even, we'd be fighting, like, non-classed up enemies. Which seemed dumb beyond belief, but, whatever. And we have this little interesting scene between Hawkeye and Minion. I'll talk more about that later. Not a big part, but it does kind of make you wonder about them. So anyway, now we finally arrived at this guy, this Lord Athos. Again, hopefully you know who he is, but I'll explain in a second. And so they're talking about these Age Legends again. Who are the guys who fought dragons, and obviously the dragons trying to come back via... Oh my god, I've forgotten his name. How have I forgotten his name? But Nurgle, thank you. Anyway, he's Athos, and if you didn't remember, he is one of the 8 legends. So this is the living legend that we were seeking out. So now we're going to get our pretty much some of our final directions of the game. I mean, you consider this next part of the game the final preparations before we go take out Nurgle. So we gotta do pretty much one more really big thing, and then we can go and challenge Nurgle for what will end up being the end of the game. And so yeah, we kind of figured it out, since Nurgle can create morphs and can live off quintessence, kind of, whether he's technically human or not, scientifically, it doesn't really matter. He just kind of doesn't abide by normal laws of what we would think of life. But anyway. So we don't actually get to hear what we to and all from Athos, but Eliwood will kind of summarize it for us. But yeah, we need to find the Shrine of Seals and Burn, and there's a very important reason for that. And Hawkeye's going to come with us. And Penton Louise will come as well. And as you know, Pent is a sage, and Louise is actually a sniper. She's actually going to have the silver bow that we're going to be able to use. So, again, if you want to start using the silver bow we just got in the next chapter, go ahead. No reason not to, because you're going to have another one. And we're going to get a brave bow. Although I think we already got that. Yeah, we already have a brave bow. Silver bow. I mean, there's plenty of good weapons, so there's no reason not to. I'm not really going to, because I don't have a archer, certainly not with an A-class bow. Because even Lynn classing up, who I know I'm obviously going to have to use in the final chapter, would want to anyway. She probably will not be A in bows, because I'm going to use her for swords. And then the bows will just be as kind of backup stuff, and kind of the opposite with Wrath. As a Nomad Archer, or Nomad Ranger, if I choose to use him, he'll probably be mainly a bow user, give him a brave bow, something like that, to make up like the lacking speed for not having to use 10 level, getting 10 levels, and gain all those upgrades. So, and then his swords that he'll get, just give him like an iron sword, steel sword, maybe killing edge if he gets his swords high enough. So, and his swords can pretty much just be kind of a defensive thing. Anyway, here we got an Aethys drops. What these do is they actually increase your rate of gaining statistics. So pretty much like each character has a certain percent that they'll gain a stat during while leveling up. So like Eliwood might be 60% HP. So 60% of the time he'll gain an HP point when he levels up. And this actually raises all the percents by 5, so pretty much if you have a character who's lacking a little bit, but you really want to use them, that would be a good unit to use it on. I might use it on Saint, actually. That's what I'm thinking, because his defense is a little bit bad, and his resistance isn't particularly exciting either, so that would be something I'd be interested in. But anyway, now that we're done talking to Athos, we know what we need to do. He's actually going to transport us back to Faerie, and we'll be able to start out from there to go to the Shrine of Seals and Burn. Which I believe will be the 4th nation that we'll have visited, because obviously we started out in Seike. Obviously we've been in Lycia for a lot of it, with both Lynn and Eliwood's quest, and now we've gone to Nabana, and we'll eventually go to Burn. And there's also Ilia, which I don't believe we visit, maybe during Hector's quest, I'm not positive, and the Western Isles, so... And the only reason I would think that we would have visited the Western Isles in this game so far would be if Valor was in the Western Isles, and I really don't believe that. But it could be, I'm not positive. Anyway, so, kind of got off on a bunch of tangents during this chapter, so I apologize for that if you didn't really want me to, and wanted me to kind of more stick with commentary related to the chapter, but towards the end wasn't a whole lot to do, so let's start one of the second to final leg of our journey in chapter 23.